Hari Om Shailajaji. Let us today learn and contemplate on api chet suduracaro.
Api chet suduracaro bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhureva mantavyah samyag vyavasito hi saha.
Excellent. Can we say it again?
Api chet suduracaro bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhureva mantavyah samyag vyavasito hi saha.
Samyag vyavasito hi saha.
Samyag vyavasito hi saha.
Very nice. Can you please say the word by word meaning?
Yes. Api means even. Cheta if. Suduracharaha most. Abominable action. Bhajate engaged. Me ananyabhak devotional service. Sadhu saintly. Eva only. He mantavyah is to be considered. Samyag properly. Vyavasitaha situated. He certainly. That person. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Shailajaji.
Thank you, sir.
So Shri Krishna is giving us this message that even if one has done the most abominable action, most sinful action, whatever the action may have been, but even that individual can transform when that individual is involved in purifying himself with a determined focus. This is what Shri Krishna is telling us. So what does it mean to you? And how do you want to see the application of this in your life? Who wants to begin? Yes, Saranji.
So it looks like even in one lifetime, he's saying like if you have done the most abominable action, bad things, the person can change if he changes and like starts his devotional service. If he changes.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like in a life like you because of the past one has to be like completely give up.
Yeah.
He still has a chance.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be anything in the sense he realizes after 20% of his life or like 50% or I guess even 90% of his life that even that 1%, the last 1%, if he realizes, I guess that is also done.
Yeah. So because nobody knows how much percentage one has
exactly.
lived.
So this moment is the moment
to begin. So what does it mean? You know, why is Krishna here talking about abominable action? Something about the past. Why is he talking about, you know, something that you've done in the past? what does it do to us? How does past linger on in us?
Is it that the the prarabdha karma leads to this life,
Yeah.
right? Like and like due to the vasanas, when we are not aware, right? When I am not aware, the vasanas lead to the actions which I do, which is basically like I am not realizing what is that I'm doing because I'm not aware it. I'm just like being driven by my vasanas. It's kind of like autopilot, right?
So you're saying my past lives in me as vasanas.
As vasanas, and that is just driving me. Though like I may be thinking that I am doing, I'm thinking and doing, but actually even the thinking and doing without awareness.
Hmm.
And like due to some breaks, if there is a moment of awareness through a guru, right? From that moment, that person is like can uh, change the vasanas and like start living uh, like as you said, in the cup of muddy water, start pouring good water to clear, right? So past is again driven by the vasanas, and uh, you once that awareness starts, you can get out of it.
So does it mean that all that he has done is forgotten and forgiven, and no consequence? Is that what it is? It's an escape from the consequences of the past action.
So this prarabdha, this life, he has to complete uh, based on his prarabdha karma. But I think that we again go back to that phrase, jnanagni dagdha karmanam. So that jnana, the moment he gets, that will burn the rest of the karmas. The whatever that uh, the karma is left, that will be burnt, and he'll be done.
Burnt in what sense? When you say karma is burnt, see, it is done. It's already an impression now. So can it really burn away? Meaning, what is it, forgotten? Or there are no consequences? Let's say you've gone and put some seeds. Will they sprout or not sprout? So what does it really mean to say, jnanani dagdha karmani?
Yeah, it's yeah, that the fire of jnana burns that seed. That seed is a burnt one, so it has no potential to grow again. Um, right? That's how I had understood.
All right. Let's examine that. Let's listen to
Yeah.
others also. Let's see. Let's keep this question. Jnanani dagdha karmani. What does it really mean? Does it mean, all the past is done and it is gone? Or what does it mean? Who wants to share next?
Sir, what I understood is, I may be wrong, but what I understood is the past doesn't define you. Whatever is done in the past is already done, which you cannot change. But what you have control over is the present. Do that, let that be better and focus on doing better in the present,
Excellent.
is what I understood from this.
Very nice. Your current is from the past.
Yeah.
Whatever you've done, has led you to the present. But you cannot cry
Change.
over it.
Yeah.
You have choice of what you can do now.
Yes.
Excellent. Very well put. But does it mean that the past has gone away, has evaporated? What does it mean?
It has not gone away, but we should not repeat what we have, what mistakes we have done in the past. So that will be our lesson in the present.
Hmm.
But repeating it will be again doing more papa. So it's literally a lesson for us.
But what happens to all that past? Whatever that is, like, bank balance. You put so much in the bank balance. What happens to the bank balance?
Probably when you do more good, that gets reduced. It's more like a liability. When you keep accumulating more assets, your liability comes down. So the more punya you do, your papa comes down.
Oh, you're an excellent accountant. You studied accounting, is it?
Yes, sir.
Very nice. You put it in the best possible accounting terms.
But I heard that like they don't neutralize at all. You have to face all the papa and punya irrespective of.
Yeah, it's a carry forward.
So it again boils down to the same question. Nanani dagda karmani. What does it really mean? Is it that my bank balance has evaporated? Or what is really happening? I have put things in the bank balance. Whether it's an asset or liability, that's a label. But I put something. What happens to that? Very nice, Shubhaji. Very well put. Yes, Padmaji.
Yeah, so sir, I feel that it doesn't go away anywhere, like how Saravanandi said. You have to experience it here while you are here. For example, I think Ramana Maharishi, one of the examples would be best. Like, even though he was a realized person, he had cancer, right? And similarly, I think even with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, it was the same thing. Also, I read somewhere that he was also very addicted to sweets. He loved the sweets a lot. So that is also something I think he continued till the end. So I think by what I mean is, like, you don't essentially give away all the past that you did, but I think there is no attachment henceforth. Once you change, or once you become realized, then there is no attachment to that. That karma bandhana is not there, is what I feel.
Excellent. So there is something about the clarity in the realization,
Yeah.
which is what is gnanani dagda karmani. What is that clarity?
I think it is that I am when you are above all these things, then there is no need for attaching to whatever is happening. You become like a witness. Also, whatever you do with full awareness. So then if I am still loving and eating sweets, I wouldn't tomorrow complain that, oh, why this happened to me, or why that happened to me. You know that this action is going to lead there. So I essentially don't have any complaints or anything to crib about, I feel.
Excellent. So one is when I do with complete awareness of what I am doing and what it will lead to, then who is there to blame? I know I did it. I know I put the chili seed. So I'm getting chili fruit. Excellent. So that is one perspective. When I do something with full awareness. Very nice.
And also by this shloka, what I understand is, Valmiki, Maharishi Valmiki is one of the greatest example. Also, when I did Narayaniyam, there was one example. I don't correctly remember the names, but in one of the chapters, it must be in Bhagavata also. There is one part where a very pious Brahmin, he does all this puja, and he's very, very devoted to Lord Narayana. And then once he goes somewhere to some forest, and there he meets a lady and he gets swayed by her, and then he forgets about his wife, his sons, everybody, and he starts to live with her. And he begets children from her also, and all that. And eventually he falls sick. Like that, years pass by and he falls sick. But what happens is, one day suddenly he had a realization that, oh no, I have done all this wrong. And then he turns over. And in his sickness, like what happens is like in that story, it will be said that usually when you die, the Yamadutas come to pick you up. And this guy had a youngest son whom he named as Narayana. So during his illness, every day he would just call that son Narayana, Narayana. And that itself kind of became a chanting for him. And at the time of the death, instead of the Yamadutas, the Vishnu Dutas came, is what it says. So it is not essentially that. So it is not that his past has gone or anything like that. But I feel that because towards the end, again, he realized and he mended his ways, it gave him a turning in his life, is what that story is telling. Yeah.
Nice. What about Ashaji and Shailajaji? What are your perspectives?
I think self-realization is at one point we have to realize and correct the mistakes what we have done earlier, and we have to proceed and with the good karmas. That's what I feel, sir. And I totally agree with all my other friends here.
Very nice. So this shloka is indicating to you that I need to correct, I need to realize and correct and stay focused.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. How about Ashaji? What is Ashaji's perspectives on this shloka?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, what I understand is like, see, as a human being, everybody, we tend to make mistakes. So it is a part like, so, but making mistake is fine, but then there should come a realization wherein we have to correct our mistake and see to that we do not repeat the mistake. So in that way, in spite of here where they have given the example of thief Ratnakara, so in spite of like whatever the acts he had done priorly, but with that one minute of that change in him, like the realization, whatever came within him. So the day he realizes, maybe it will totally cleanse, like it is equivalent to saying that, okay, that really doesn't mean that everything will wash out, but still that moment of realization will definitely bring that saintliness in him. And in one way, so in that way, that person will be considered okay. Maybe the intentions and whatever the feelings and the thought, the emotions, when everything is cleansed, definitely he would be considered as devotional.
Very nice. But what does it mean to you in your personal life, this shloka? How is it applicable to you?
Yeah, actually, in one way, we can also relate it because to thief Ratnakara of our past actions, like whatever we have done, right? So it is not like just. I mean, we sometimes we tend to do that. Like we always live in the past, thinking of our mistakes, right? Sometimes we always keep cribbing, like, I mean, this should have been like this way, and we have done so many mistakes. So it is not that. So, but we have to try to live in the present. So, and the main thing is like that awareness. So that is what is much needed rather than living in the past. So thinking and it doesn't, I mean, help us anywhere out. So only thing is, so we have to, even if something is done, so that realization of the mistake, correction, and live in the present is maybe that is what I can understand from this shloka. So in that way, we can apply to ourselves also.
Very nice. Excellent. So I may have shown this video, but I would like to play it again. There is this nice little wonderful series by Chinmaya Mission, Upanishad Sara. In the Upanishad Sara, there is this story of thief Ratnakara and Narada. So this particular segment that you're watching is where the transformation part of Ratnakara is. So let us watch this, and still, we need to go back to that question, Gnanani Dagda Karmani.
क्या तुम्हें मुझसे भय नहीं लग रहा ब्राह्मण? मैं रत्नाकर हूं।
मैं नारद हूं रत्नाकर, तुम्हारा अतिथि, और मैं निर्भय हूं। क्या तुम निर्भय हो?
क्या मतलब है तुम्हारा?
न मुझे प्राणों का भय है, न असफलता का, न कल का, न कलंक का। और कोई भय है जो तुम जानते हो? अब तुम बताओ, क्या तुम निर्भय हो?
हाँ, मैं निर्भय हूं। मुझे न प्राणों का भय है, न असफलता का, न कल का, न कलंक का।
तो फिर यहां वन में छिपकर क्यों रहते हो? क्या राजा से डरते हो?
नहीं।
प्रजा से डरते हो?
नहीं।
पाप से डरते हो?
नहीं।
तो फिर यहां छिपकर क्यों रहते हो? उत्तर मैं देता हूं। पाप करते हो और पाप से डरते हो।
मैंने तुम्हारे बारे में बहुत सुना है। देवताओं के कवि, तुम मुझे फुसला नहीं सकते। न मैं पाप से डरता हूं, न पुण्य से, न देवताओं से, न दानवों से, न राजा से, न राज्य से, न दंड से, न विधान से। मैंने राज्य के साथ द्रोह किया है, मैंने समाज के साथ द्रोह किया है, इसलिए यहां बीहड़ों में रहता हूं। ये प्रतिशोध है मेरा।
क्या था वो पाप जिससे तुम डरते हो?
मुझे इतना मत उकसाओ कि मैं तुम्हारी हत्या कर दूं। नारद, इतना तो मैं जान ही चुका हूं कि पाप और पुण्य की परिभाषा हमेशा ताकतवर तय करते हैं और उसे कमजोरों पर थोपते हैं। मैंने साम्राज्यों का विस्तार देखा है, हत्या से, बल से, छल से। मैंने वाणिज्य का विस्तार देखा है, कपट से, अनीति से, अधर्म से। वो पाप नहीं था। मैं सैनिक था, दुष्ट और निर्दयी सौदागरों की भी रक्षा की। वो पाप नहीं था। युद्ध में हारे हुए लोगों की स्त्रियों के साथ पशुता का व्यवहार करने वाले सैनिकों की हत्या क्या की? मैं पापी हो गया। राजा, सेना और सेनापति का अपराधी हो गया मैं। क्या वो पाप था?
दूसरों का पाप अपने पाप को सही नहीं ठहरा सकता रत्नाकर।
मैं पापी नहीं हूं।
कौन निर्णय करेगा? वो जो इस यात्रा में तुम्हारे साथ है या नहीं है? क्या तुम्हारी पत्नी, तुम्हारा पुत्र इस पाप में तुम्हारे साथ है?
हाँ, वो क्यों नहीं साथ होंगे? मैं जो ये सब करता हूं उनके सुख के लिए तो करता हूं।
तो जो तुम्हारे साथ हैं उन्हीं को निर्णायक बनाते हैं। जाओ, अपनी पत्नी से, अपने पुत्र से, अपने पिता से, अपने निकट संबंधियों से पूछ कर आओ, जो तुम कर रहे हो क्या वो पाप नहीं है? और क्या वो सब इस पाप में तुम्हारे साथ हैं? इस पाप के भागीदार हैं?
सरदार, ये ब्राह्मण बहुत बोलता है, इसे मार दे।
नहीं, इसे तो मैं अपने हाथों से मारूंगा, परंतु पहले इसके प्रश्नों के उत्तर तो दे दूं। मेरे आने तक इसे बांध कर रखो। कड़ी नजर रखना इस पर।
रत्नाकर, बेटा आज बहुत जल्दी आ गए तुम। कोई मोटा आसामी हाथ लगाए क्या?
क्या बात है स्वामी, आज आप प्रसन्न दिखाई नहीं दे रहे?
मैं जो कर रहा हूं क्या वो पाप है?
ये तू कैसी बहकी बहकी बातें कर रहा है आज? तूने ज्यादा पी ली है क्या?
क्या तुम मेरे पाप में भागीदार हो?
ये तू क्या पूछ रहा है?
क्या तुम मेरे पाप में भागीदार हो?
नहीं स्वामी, मैंने आपके सुख में दुख में साथ देने की कसम खाई है, आपके पाप में भागीदार होने की नहीं।
पिता, आप?
बेटा, ये तो तेरी कमाई है, इसे मैं कैसे बांट सकता हूँ?
आपका पथ शुभ हो स्वामी।
अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि सः।
तुम्हारे साथी मुझे अकेला छोड़ जा चुके हैं रत्नाकर।
क्षमा देवर्षि, क्षमा। अब तो मैं भी अकेला ही हूं।
नहीं रत्नाकर, तुम ही अपने मित्र और तुम ही अपने शत्रु हो। तुम्हारे पुराने संसार की रचना भी तुम ही ने की थी, तुम्हारे नए संसार की रचना भी तुम ही करोगे। इसलिए उठो और अपने पुरुषार्थ से अपना भविष्य लिखो। राम राम, तुम्हारा पथ शुभ हो।
जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचन रचनमेकं केवलं चाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलं निशनपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतोऽस्मि।
इस कहानी के इस डाकू ने अपने संसार को छोड़ फिर एक नए संसार की रचना की, जिसे हम रामायण के नाम से जानते हैं। इतिहास कहता है कि अतीत का डाकू रत्नाकर ही भविष्य में राम कथा का रचयिता वाल्मीकि बना। ठीक कहा था देवर्षि नारद ने, असीम संभावनाओं का स्वामी मनुष्य काश खुद को पहचान पाता।
So our past lives in the mind as impressions. So the realization that I and I alone have to carry that, whatever it is, assets or liabilities, I have to carry that. There is no escape from that. So the choice I have is to do whatever I do as a nishkama karma, as a selfless offering. When does it go into my bank account? When I claim ownership for the action. That is what is categorized as asset or liability, papa, punya. Whatever I have done with the attitude of I have done it has to be accounted as asset and liability under my books. You maintain journal in accounting. In journal, you have the asset and liability, you have the credit and debit entries. So for every one of us, there is a journal. And that is recorded. That is recorded as impression in the mind. So there is a wonderful insight about Yama and Chitragupta. So you all know through Purana story, Yama is the Lord of Judgment. Chitragupta is his accountant. He is the one who is writing all your accounts. So if you really look at Yama, as you keep saying Yama, what is Yama? Yama, 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 Yama. It becomes Maya. So the Maya, meaning Maya, is the one which works as time. So I get bound in the illusory world. So where is this Chitragupta then? Chitragupta is nothing but, if you twist, Gupta Chitra. Gupta means secret, Chitra means recording, a Chitra, creation. Where is it? It is in the memory, as in the Chitta. So Chitragupta is nothing but the recording of that incident, of that past in the mind. So Chitragupta, where is he? That's why it said, no, Chitragupta is always standing on your shoulder and always recording everything that you're doing. Because ultimately, wherever you go, you are there and it is all getting recorded in your mind. So it's not about who has seen it, who has not seen it. It is about you are there and you are a witness to whatever that is happening. And when whatever that is happening, there is a claiming of the ownership. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. That goes into the individual journal. So the transformation that the Guru is teaching us, the transformation that Narada also gave to Ratnakara, is essentially to give up the ownership attitude. I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer. But continue to do for the sake of service. So in that, jnanani dagda karmani. In that jnana only, when there is no more claiming of the ownership, the clarity and the deepest realization of who I am neither the doer nor the enjoyer. Only that absolute awareness of the true self, that I am the pure awareness. I'm not anything, I'm just the awareness. Only in that can there be true liberation. Then the body and the mind, through which whatever actions has been performed, will go through its whatever outcome that has to be there. It is said that even in the case of Angulimala, who became the Shishya of Buddha, just because he became a Shishya of Buddha, the world did not forgive him. After he became Shishya of Buddha, whenever he would go for begging, he would still get abusers, he would still get beaten up, he would come crying, bleeding to Buddha. But he would once again be nursed back into his true nature. And that's how progressively he lost the fear. Like how Narada says, I am nirbhaya. What is the cause of the fear? Cause of the fear is unknown future. What is the cause of anxiety? Again, unknown future. And how does the past affect all this? Past comes in as a papa prajna. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. Oh, I've done this. If only I had done that. If only I hadn't said it. They get recorded deeply into our impression. If it's a simple event, it's okay. But some events leave much deeper impression in various ways. So the very idea that I'm connected with that impression is the actual mistake, is the actual ignorance. It will yield fruit. Whatever that is meant to, it will yield fruit. But I am connected to that is the fundamental cause of all this suffering. So through the Viveka and Jnana given by the Guru, when you see that you're not the doer, you're not the enjoyer, you are that pure witness. Only when that clarity completely is established, can there be true liberation. And that path of transformation is what was given to Ratnakara by Narada. So the writing of the Ramayana itself, and before that, whatever sadhana that was Valmiki Maharshi was doing, all that was for the Chitta Shuddhi. So as the impressions of the mind become clearer and clearer, like Saravanan gave the example, glass of dirty water. How can I clean without having to pour out the water? Just keep pouring good water. As I keep pouring good water, naturally, gradually, one day there won't be any more dirty water. So it is the transformation that is important. It is the recognition that I have to transform is important. What makes me do sin? My sense of heightened ego, the pride in my ego, my anger. In anger also I may commit, because in anger awareness is lost. And what is the cause of anger? Cause of anger once again is attachment to things. So Krishna has already given us all the basic necessities. Anger is caused by attachment to things. Excessive attachment to things causes delusion and thereby anger, and thereby you may end up doing dastardly activities. Jealousy. So all these are considered as sinful thoughts, sinful feelings, just because they can lose our awareness and we may end up doing things without awareness. So to guard this awareness, we have to be continuously on the watch. Any questions or any other statements anybody wants to make? Ashaji, you want to say something?
Vijayji, yeah, like whatever you said is right. But sometimes, in spite of knowing, also sometimes we dwell in the past, right? I mean, okay, one small, thing like quick tips, so that if we just remember that we have to come back to the awareness and the consciousness. So what we can be doing, what can be done?
See, the very thing is, it is your mind. Like when let's say in the beginning, when we were doing the Omkara Dhyana, sometimes your mind may wander away. So you become aware that it has wandered away. What can be done? About the past, nothing can be done. It wandered, it wandered. Now, bring it back. So, therefore, continue to practice the meditation practices helps us to do that even when we are acting in the world, to bring that awareness easily. As your meditation practice, it is like anything else. See, when you have driven your cycle many times, sometimes you may easily just put a brake. You may not be completely conscious why I put a brake. Then you notice that something is passing and you already put a brake. So that is because of the nature of the practice. It has become a muscle memory. Your entire being is now acting based on the practice. So that is why Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa practice is important. So continuing to put the nice water, how? Through your own service activities. So as you keep doing that, the mind becomes more and more aware. What I mean is, the unawareness which drifts you away, the frequency of that starts reducing. So it's a natural and gradual progress. So to your question, what is the way? The way is to continuing to put good water, to continue to practice Abhyasa Yoga. Shri Krishna has said, when Arjuna asked the same question, it's all nice, and when I discuss the truth, it's all clear, but how do I bring it into my life as an established practice, as an established truth? And how do I not deviate from that? The simplest answer Krishna gives is Abhyasa Yoga. Everything is a matter of practice. We practiced ourselves into the ignorance. Now we can practice ourselves out of the ignorance. So it is all a matter of practice. And as you keep practicing, it stabilizes. So if at all you are looking for specific things, you can say become aware of the breath. But when can you become aware of the breath? Only when you have practiced. The story that Padmaji gave, at the end of the life, he could remember Narayana and Vishnudutas came. The essence of the story is that he had a deep practice. Before he met that woman and he wandered away, he had practiced a lot. It is the phala of the practice See, there's another story, again the same in Bhagavatam. Another Shetty who heard this story of, his son being named as Narayana and that saving him at the end of the life. He also named his son with all Narayana's names only. But he continued to be a Shetty, meaning what? Transaction oriented, about his store and what came, what left and all that. His death also was nearby and he was in the deathbed. And he also called all his 4 sons. He named them Pradyumna, like that, he had named all names of, like in Vishnu Sahasranama, all good names of Narayana only. He called all of them. All of them came to him. Yes, Father, what is that you want? Idiot fellows, if everyone is here, who is going to look after the store? Go, one of you look after the store. So just by naming Narayana, it did not evoke that clarity about Narayana. He continued to transact in the world. So just by naming doesn't change. It has to become a deep practice, no? Then only it evokes the right emotions and the right feelings and the right clarity comes. Does that make sense, Ashaji?
Yes, please. So like it is, there is nothing as a shortcut or a quick tip. It is a constant practice. It has to come with a constant.
Yeah. As you practice, you'll find many ways. For example, one of the simplest ways, when you get angry, the simplest thing is to just notice your, bodily sensations just for a moment. It is not that, you have to notice for 10 seconds. Just for a moment, become aware of the bodily sensations. Mind is shifted away from anger. Then, before you respond, notice whether the response is coming out of the fit of the anger. Is there still emotion? Or are you able to calmly say whatever you are saying? Never say anything when you are angry. Never decide anything when you are angry. Never say or do anything when you are sad. Like that, all these become a part of your own, let's say, experience when you practice. So some say, okay, I just watch my breath. You can do that. Some say, I just close my eyes and I feel naturally peaceful. But again, it all depends upon the practice. And some practice the wrong way. When they get anything like that, they run away. They go away. They drink. They eat. Or they sleep. But these practices have not removed the ignorance. Because the fundamental root of all this misery is within me. My own thought process, my own thought patterns, my own attachment to whatever said and not said. Why I became angry? Because something was said by somebody. But why I became angry? Because I have certain connection to whatever was being said. Me and mine. That me and mine is the fundamental root cause of all this anger, sadness, jealousy, worry, tension in the world. So until I consciously, I look into that and consciously make efforts to realize who I am, till then, these tips or these practices will not remove the root ignorance. For the time being, it'll remove, it's like a band-aid. Somebody comes crying. Oh, here, take a chocolate. He was crying maybe for some other reason. I never understood the reason. And that reason has not gone away. Next time also, maybe somebody called him a donkey and that person got insulted and came crying. I just gave a chocolate. So that person will again cry. Why? Because again, the concept of donkey as an idiotic animal is still in the mind. So next time also that person will get upset. Again, I'll have to give a chocolate. So chocolate business is not the permanent solution. The permanent solution is realizing the root of this misery. And for that, practice is essential. Is that clear, Rashaji? Any other points you want to make?
Yeah, yes, Vijay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anyone has any other point or any other questions? All right. Then let us end our contemplation here.